What's up, family? What's going on with everybody? I don't know if my thing played all the way through. I apologize, y'all. I hope you guys can see me. Normally I sit up on a pillow. I apologize, you guys. What happened was I wanted this to be in a better quality. I wanted to be in better quality, but we can't. So, whatever. I think it played all the way. No, the thing is, I was trying to go, and y'all, let me get my lip gloss. I got to make sure my lip gloss is popping. 1 second. My apologies, y'all. So I try to go on here. I try to go on here in the best quality possible. So any YouTubers know that the best quality is like 1080. Let me make sure this is all right. There we go. Want to make sure this looks the way it's supposed to look. But it's supposed to be 1080p, like you want it in the best quality. And so, unfortunately, I don't know if the button, it's supposed to look classy. It looks classy family. I hope it looks classy. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, dapper, right? Well, I wanted a little something different. But anyway, y'all. So let me put my lip gloss on. Yeah, so I try to put it on the best quality. And the last couple of minutes, I've been fighting with the quality. Just to make sure it's the right one. Because I want y'all to get the best quality. That's really what it comes down to. I want y'all to see me in the best possible quality. But it is what it is. It's 720. I wanted it in 1080, but it is what it is. That's just little stuff. Anyway, y'all, welcome to the live tonight. Tonight we are talking about, are your standards too high in dating? And here are some ways to find out. So y'all pay attention tonight. We are going to talk about it. I really saw some different things. Me and Pam were having some conversations because y'all, this situation, and I look, I actually have my wine here. I actually got my wine because it's not only every time I research this topic, it really referenced women. All it talked about was women. Women's got women. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie. Hear me and hear me clear. Men aren't settling these days either. Let's be very clear. It's not only women that have high and maybe unrealistic standards for themselves. Because just keeping it 100, y'all can call me whatever y'all want to call me. Every man think he a high value man. Every man think he a high value man. Every man think he's deserving of the creme de la creme. And the reality is that's not true. Just like every woman ain't deserving of the that's not true final countdown. I don't think most men have low standards. I think they have low standards to sleep with you, but I don't think they have low standards to be with you. I think men today are not settling down. That's the reality. Look at the statistics. Men are not settling down. Women want to settle down, but lying to themselves and saying they don't want to settle down. Right? They saying, oh, I don't want no relationship. You do. You lying. A lot of men saying that men are not settling down. That's why women are not settling down either, because men aren't. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Let's keep it a buck. Women do what men do. We follow the leader. I'm just being honest. Because at the end of the day, what I'm seeing in today's society, we could call it whatever we want to call it. But I talk, there's men that come that talk to me, communicate with me, and they're like, they do this or they do that, or they do this or they do that, they do this, they do that. And I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying about, different things that you're, experiencing in the dating world and dating market with different women. But their standards are guys' standards are high today, y'all. Men's standards are high. Men are not settling down. Men are not settling down. And so that's where we're at. And they're saying I have conversations with men, and y'all, these are men that don't even have, I'm just being honest. There are men that have communicated with me. They don't even have employment. These men don't even have employment. They ain't employed. They're decent looking men. Not saying that they are not attractive, but y'all, I'm sorry. We all have a lane that we need to row in. We all do. I have a lane. You have a lane. We all got a lane. So when men are saying women ain't settling down, no, y'all ain't settling down. That's why women ain't settling down. Women ain't settling down. Men ain't settling down. Women aren't settling for certain men. Men are trying to find the best possible woman they could possibly find, right? And some men that can get the creme de la creme are like, I don't really want to settle down with the creme de la creme. I kind of want to just do my thing. Because let's just talk about it, y'all. Let's be real. I'm jumping in today. The water is fine. We jumping in. Are your standards too high in dating? Okay. Some people's standards are absolutely unrealistic. We saw it with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was one of the pioneers of this particular movement and exposing this type of rhetoric where there were women that absolutely and are still absolutely unrealistic and their standards are entirely too high. And I think a lot of that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Why is that? Because I think we make our necessity a virtue. What does that mean, Sam? That means that if I'm single, I'm going to make my singleness virtuous, right? So I'm going to say that I'm not settling with nobody because, I just can't find me a good man. No man wants you. We're not, because as soon as a man do want you, then you're now on the market and you with a guy that people trying to talk you out of being with. Honestly, y'all, today is honesty hour. We're going to keep it real. I started off and I'm not going to stop. The gas is going to be put on the brakes, or not going to be put on the brakes. They're going to be on the gas pedal. Yes. And we're going to be honest tonight. We're not going to sit here and keep mincing words. All right. And I'm not trying to take Kevin Samuels' movement because I didn't necessarily agree with the way he went about things or everything that he said. Did he say some true things? Yes. We can't deny that. Can't deny it. Did I like his approach? No. However, we can't deny that some of the things he said were true. We can't. We got to be honest. Honest. Got it. Honesty hour. Welcome to Honesty Hour, family. And so we're talking about two standards too high because, like I said, I think Hillary's going to start it off. Oh, before I get into this, y'all, I jumped in today and I didn't want to do that. And let me slow down. First, I want to say thank you to every single person that decides to send in anything to me that sows into what we're doing, sows into our movement. But we've been doing Game Changer movement now for almost 2 years. We've been having these conversations regularly. We're actually in the middle of Hurricane Helene here in Georgia. And here we are on a live. So we're here, okay? Hurricane or not, we're on a live. School's closed or not, we're here. So anyway, long story short, I think every single person that decides we have so many people that regularly support us, regularly, hits the super chats, hits the cash apps, even after the lives are finished. And so I want to thank each and every one of you guys, because y'all rock, man. Y'all have been rocking and rolling with me. And I just want to thank each and every one of you guys. So as we continue, I just want to first say thank you to everybody. It just means a lot to me. Thank you. And also I have been working on the More Than Just Pretty movement, More Than Just Pretty podcast. It streams on multiple different streaming platforms, Amazon, Spotify, Apple. I'm missing one. There's one more. iHeartRadio. And it's been doing very well. So if you, it's very much more spiritually motivated. It's very much more my spiritual content. I love it. So definitely tune in to More Than Just Pretty podcast. It's definitely more of my personal. I'm very, very personal. Y'all, it's almost wild. If I ever have to record myself doing it, I don't know if I'm going to have the same honesty. Like, I am so transparent on More Than Just Pretty. It's a little sickening, just being honest. But anyway, check it out. More Than Just Pretty podcast. And yes, I do offer one-on-one virtual coaching. So if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, hit me up. We can work. Men, usually it's dating, divorce, really relationships related stuff. And sometimes it's spiritual. So we can go there as well. Women, it's everything under the sun. I work with women on all different kinds of things, from weight loss to motherhood to relationships, anything really under the sun we can talk about. So if you are interested in one-on-one virtual coaching with me, go ahead to lovesamanthalee.com and you can go ahead and apply to do some coaching with me. All right. So, Trav said that he was in tears last week with the podcast. Oh my gosh, y'all. It was so emotional. It was. That like literally makes me want to cry, Travis, that you were in tears with it. That makes me emotional that you were emotional. That just, y'all gonna get me. Do not get me right now, because we have a topic that is not emotional. Oh my gosh, don't do this. Last week's podcast was emotional. This week's podcast is emotional. But thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right, so back to the topic at hand. We welcome the super chats. I will shout out super chats and everything like that. If you have questions, please do that. Cash apps, like I said, is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Love Samantha Lee. Hit me up and let's get it going. So I'm going to continue on this thing. So funny, y'all. I'm not gonna go into my tangents tonight. Well, I can, because I'm not waking up early tomorrow. Thank you, Jesus. This is a tangent that I need to go on, y'all. Let me tell you how good my God is. Let me start off by before we get into are your standards too high in dating, let me tell you what's going on in my life. Y'all will miss this no, I just started sipping wine, Timothy. Chill out, relax. Okay, I'm not drunk. I just started sipping. Your girl ain't that lightweight. I ain't gonna feel it in 2 seconds. I ain't 102 pounds. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yesterday, I was literally praying to God. I'm like, God, I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I was even telling Pam this, like, I'm so tired. My weekend was a little rough, everything like that. I'm like, God, and I'm thinking about tomorrow, y'all. I'm literally, as I'm going home, like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. There's just certain things I had to do. Y'all, literally, I get a message, an email right then as I'm thinking about what I have to do tomorrow. My job gets canceled. Literally, my full time, where I have to go to work. Schools are closed. So it's canceled. I'm like, okay. So is my daughter's school canceled? Because then I got to still wake up at 5:30 in the morning to her school gets canceled. So I ain't got to wake up in the morning. I don't have to drive anywhere. I'm like, look at God. God said, Sam, I got you. You're tired? I got you. You need a little bit more rest. You need to sleep in a little bit. I got you. I got you, sis. I was like, God, you out here just really looking out for your girl. So tonight I'm drinking a little bit of wine. I normally don't do this because I normally have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. But today, I don't. We're in the middle of a hurricane. And here we are. So anyway, that's besides the point. So, okay. I didn't tell you how good God is. I literally was telling him that I did not want to wake up, that I was stressed about it. I felt like, I was like, oh God, I got to wake up. I'm tired, blah, blah. And he knows how tired I am. And God said, don't worry about it. You ain't got to go to work. You ain't got to wake up and take the baby to school. Okay, well, thank you, Jesus. Come on now. Come on, Lord. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it, family. I had to tell y'all that just how good my God is, because I literally just told him that, and then he answered the prayer in literally 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes. That's how good he is. Okay. Back to the subject at hand. So I went in snapping and bapping. But there are some things that you can make somebody seem to be too picky. Now, y'all, I got some lists. Pam, y'all got a shout out to Pam. Pam, thank you, ma'am. I couldn't do this without Pam, thank you, ma'am. So we got to really shout out to Pam. So there's some lists I got here about what makes somebody too picky. I want to first start out here before I even get into what's like specifics of what makes somebody too picky, or when you know your standards are way too high. Okay, I'm not even going to get into that. First thing is first. Some of y'all don't even listen to your most honest friend. So a lot of people, what they do is they talk to the friend that's going to agree with them. Because their friend's going to be like, yeah, girl, yeah, you going to be with, or you're going to talk to your boy like, yeah, bro, you need to be with a blah, 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 blah. And she need to be blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, no. No. We have to, exactly, flying monkeys. Y'all be listening to the flying monkey circus. And the flying monkey circus ain't going to be honest with you. So you going to over here be listening to people that just say things to say things, right? When I was doing this topic, I literally called Pam like literally an hour ago. She can verify it. I said, Pam, I need to know, am I unreasonable? Are my standards too high? You know, like I was like, hold me accountable, because I'm not about to be on here saying that like these things and I'm not holding myself accountable, right? Because I do hold myself accountable. But at the end of the day, a lot of times there's people that are close to us that can say to us, okay, what are you looking for? And can tell you straight up, like, if this is within your wheelhouse. Because sometimes, y'all, we have been, we create a person. I'm gonna be that, I am that friend. I'm gonna be that friend that's gonna be like, okay, do you think that makes sense? At this point, do you think that that's do you feel like you can do that? And Pam is somebody that I feel like is one of the most honest people that I know. She done hurt my feelings without even knowing before. Not really hurt my feelings, but she has been so honest that she has been so honest. So I knew if I asked her this, she'd be like, well, Sam, you can tone it down. I feel as though a lot of people don't allow the people that are closest to them to let them, like, what are you looking for? We're not allowing the people next to, like, sometimes we're not being honest with the people around us that can help us. Okay? You have friends around you. Tell them what you're looking for. If you're a guy right now, let them know I'm looking. If you're a guy right now and you're working at a certain place and you're doing whatever, tell your friend you're looking for a 9 or a 10. Show him the IG model offline that you're trying to bag right now. Show him her. Let him tell you what it really is. Your most honest friend. He might say if you met her in person, you might have a shot. But online, you're not going to meet her. It may not work out. That might be something he say, be like, bro, are you kidding me? Come on. You know who's trying to get at her. We have to be real with ourselves, family. I've met people, and I don't mind you shooting your shot. Like, I said that all the time. Shoot your shot. What's the point? Like, of course, shoot your shot. The worst that can happen is that it don't happen. But you don't even put yourself in a position to really get to any type of place if you don't shoot your shot. So yes, shoot your shot. However, you have to absolutely, like, if your standards are stopping you from actually being in relationships, because if I'm going to use women because I'm a woman. That's what I'm going to. If I'm a woman and let's say I'm not a certain level of attractiveness, I don't take care of myself. I'm not desirable to men. There's some certain qualities about me that are not desirable. Okay. I'm trying to think of things that, like, let's say I'm average or a little bit below average looking woman. We've got to start with looks. Ladies, we cannot. I understand that we don't like it. I understand that we're not, that is, we're so much more. I get that. We are so much more. There is so much more to us. However, when you're trying to get the creme de la creme guy, the creme de la creme guy is looking for the baddest of the bad girl. That's just what it is. That's where Kevin Samuels wasn't wrong. They are looking for the best looking candidate that they can have that has other qualities as well. Like, I want the best looking woman that provides these other qualities, like holistically. Right? And the better looking you are, the more doors you can get into. And you can make it about your career. You can make it about your degree. I have multiple degrees. I have an advanced degree. My advanced degree has never gotten me a date. I have my master's. I have never gotten a date off of the strength of my master's. Never. Now, has it been impressive on the other side? Like, when I speak to somebody and have conversations with them and we're able to go to different topics and have long extended conversations, or, whatever that may be, whatever that is. Yeah, absolutely. That's what keeps me in the door, right? Because I have more to it than that. But my looks the package. All we see is the package first. And I know that a lot of women are mad about this, but this is the truth. And not everybody's a 10, baby. Shoot, I don't think anybody's really a 10. If we're being honest, who's perfect? Nobody's perfect. We just all within either 9 range, 8 range, 7 range, 6 range. We all in those ranges. And the ones in the 9 ranges, like 9 to 10 range, are going to have the 9 to 10 guys. And the 9 to 10 guys, what does that mean? That means like the top 1%ers. Those are people that there's not a lot of people. I know social media makes us feel like there's so many people that are so amazingly beautiful and they're this and they're that. But I'm not going to lie. A tribal, I'm going to pick on you. Tribal can't follow all the baddest women in the world if there's millions of them. Tribal, every time I click on a photo, Tribal done discovered that woman already. Come on, Tribal. Don't do this to me. Tribal got good taste, okay? Tribal got NBA entertainer taste. Tribal like creme de la creme. Tribal ain't playing with none of y'all. Period. No. Every time there's a girl that pops up on my timeline, oh, she pretty. Tribal done already discovered her. She could be a female in Australia. Tribal done found her. I'm just saying, I don't know if he just done scoped out. He done said, listen. But there's a 3 other people on my page that I follow them too. Now I don't follow I don't follow everybody, but there's some people he follows them. He likes their pictures. He done found them. He don't follow all of them, but he done found their pictures. My whole point is this. If it's that common, Tribal wouldn't know all of them. That's my whole thing. And I'm not saying he really, I'm just, but there's some guys on my page that we're friends. We have mutual friends. I know them from Atlanta or whatever. And they like every woman that pops up that looks a certain way. They don't follow. They follow them like they photo. I'm like, what do y'all have, a search team? Do y'all have a search team on the internet just scouring the earth? just like, we are going to find the baddest women on the Instagram, period. But if we do, right, if we do that number, right, let's say there's 100 million, 300 million on Instagram, I would dare to say there might be 1 million of, that level. They might be many, all look 10, but they are not options. But all I'm saying is, at this point, my whole point is this. It's not that common. A man that is very successful is not that common. A woman that is super attractive, 9 to 10, because I know we can talk about, there's lots of women that are 9s and 10s. I don't think there's a lot. I will argue anybody. I don't think there's naturally gorgeous 9s and 10s in the world today. I just don't. I don't agree. I don't think that there's a lot of women that are willing to go on, just being honest, go on a YouTube space, put on a daggone camera. You ain't got no filter makeup team. Rent a studio. I got one light, and I'm the makeup person who's not the greatest makeup person. But I'm very honest about what I look like. Why? Because I don't want to be not recognizable in person. However, and y'all can tell. I mean, y'all can tell when it's heavily filtered, have lots of makeup, things of that nature. And I feel like that kind of gives a vibe that's not real. And that's just a whole nother situation. This is my point, because I'm losing my point. My point is this. I don't think it's that common. Which means that if everybody wants the same thing and they're not settling, quote unquote, for that, everybody's going to remain single. So at some point, we all have to be realistic with ourselves. And do I think that men are more realistic with themselves? Absolutely. But I also think that because social media makes you can access so many women, you can see so many women, it makes it seem like something is way more common than what it actually is. Now, even if it is a guy that's on in Tribal, I'm using you as an example, Tribal. And Tribal, with you, I know that you are the expert in the audience today, even with the baddest, some of the most beautiful women on the Insta of grams, right? I would also argue there's not a whole lot of quality, right? We're talking quality. There might be, and when you go to quality, there are some that look like quality that aren't actually quality, correct? Right? There's some women that can put on a great persona and they're not quality. And that's a whole nother situation. But there are beautiful women. There's quality beautiful women. There's women that are quality that look like they quality, but they're not quality. There's a lot. But when we're talking about creme de la creme, there's only a few. Just like with men, there's creme de creme, there's only a few. Period. And that's what it comes down to. Right? And so I think that when we have honest conversations with our people around us, being like a friend that is going to say, bro, you batting out of your league. Like this, that might be you doing a little much. You're not going to date a girl unless she's a 9. Yeah, why can't you just deal it with a 7? I had that conversation with somebody the other day. He's like, oh, I'm dealing with a 7. Why can't you be with a 7? What's wrong with a solid 7? Even Stephen A. Smith said to date a 7. What's wrong with a 7? And a 7 who's spiritual, who's nurturing, who's loving, who's this, who's like, y'all like complimentary. It is like reaching out, like really showing interest. What's wrong with a 7? If you got all the great qualities, but he won a 9. But you and your favorite, I was like, who's your favorite basketball player? Who's your favorite football player? Who's your favorite singer? Who's your favorite rapper? All of them won a 9 too. So what you gonna do? That's who your competition is. Unless you're willing to deal with a 9-ish, a 8-ish. We could do an 8-ish. Right? Why, if we're getting everything that we need and this woman is doing everything right. And again, I'm not saying this man had a bad career because he has a great career. Okay. But when you're saying a 9, 9s and 10s, you're competing with the 9s and 10s of men. And I'm not saying you're not a 9 or a 10. I'm just saying that when I don't think nobody's a 10. That's my whole point. Ain't nobody perfect. Only man that walked the planet is Jesus, who was perfect. But I'm talking about perfect. I'm talking about close to perfect women. We're talking about 9s, essentially. And we're going from 9 to 9.9, right? That's what can we agree with that? Can we agree with that? 9 to 9.9? I don't think anybody should be a 10. I don't think anybody should be a 10. Everybody got something. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. We got some cash apps. I got to shout some people out. Tommy hit what's up? Go, Tommy. It's your birthday. You gonna do it today. Hey, go, Tommy. Oh, John. Thank you, John. So thank you guys again. Tommy and John hit the cash app. We also want to shout out to Joshua. If you keep leveling up, you have the right to not settle. Joshua, here's the thing, family. Let's start right here. And I'm gonna go with your comment. I understand what you're saying. I don't think anybody should settle And I don't look at it like settling. Even Kevin Samuels, like, it's not settling. It's your match. We just look at our match as settling because we feel like we're deserving of way more. Because we see these seas of option. We're like, it's almost like, y'all ever, okay, I don't know about anybody. I'm gonna tell on myself. Y'all ever look at like Zillow, right? And I like looking at Zillow. I like looking at real estate. That's like my thing. Okay. Love real estate. And you look at real estate and you're going through, you're looking at the real estate. When you look at the $1 million house, right? The $1.5 million house, or you look at the $800,000 house. When you start looking at the $300,000, $400,000 house, it doesn't look as good because you just saw the $1 million house. Y'all feel me? So it's like I can't look at what my house is the same because I saw the $1 million house. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I think that we see in social media a bunch of different things, and some of them are in our price range and some of them are not. And I'm not saying price range like for real. I'm saying price range in our range. And some of our ranges are higher than others, right? And dependent on certain variables. You know, I with women, I honestly think you absolutely have to look at, and this is just for women, you have to look at who has approached you. And I'm not saying just in person because, you know, you're limited depending on where you live. You're limited on who can reach out to you. But if you have been on social media space for any amount of time, who has reached out to you? Who's trying to talk to you? Let's be real. If you're a woman and you've been on the social media space for any amount of time, these guys, like Tribal, have scoured the internet. These guys are everywhere. They are scouring. They don't want a woman that's like a me. I mean, they want me, but I have a bigger platform. They're like, oh, everybody want her. I don't really want that. I want a smaller platform type of woman because I already know she got options. Most of the guys, let's be real. There's only certain guys that are gonna be like, I can handle that. That's a me. I could do that. You know. Some men can be like, I can handle all that. I'm good with all of this, you know. But there's some men that are like, I want that something that looks like that, but a smaller platform. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for smaller platforms. They're not looking for big platform women. Some are, some aren't. Depends on the man. But if that guy is secure with who he is, he don't care what kind of platform you got. The bigger the platform to him, some of them might be like, oh, so she really bad. That might be what he might think. Some of them. Some of them just be like, oh, don't nobody know her yet. Perfect. Fresh meat. Allegedly. Because there's some people with small platforms, and I already know what time it is. Anyway, that's besides the point. So that's my whole thing. If you have to start actually looking at, because somebody said average out your ex-boyfriends. No. Who approach you for real? Let's just keep it a buck. Who be approaching you? Who be liking your photos? Who be writing? Who be hearting your stories? Who comes at you? And when I'm saying like comes at you like regularly, not like every once in the last 5 years. If there's people that would tell me, oh, this NFL player that used to play football, he reached out to me like 3 years ago. That's not your league, baby. That's not your league. That's not your league. we now have to be real with ourselves. If that's what you're waiting for, that's not your league. And that's not to insult you. That's to tell you that sometimes we're waiting on things, but that's a superficial thing. There's women that tell me I'm looking for an NFL player. Why? You don't want those kind of problems. You have to be built for that kind of problem. And they have to want you to want that kind of problem. Right? You have to, there's a twofold here. One, they gotta want you to want the problem. Two, you gotta want the problem. You want the problem, so you think you want the problem. But they don't even want you to want the problem. So now you over here waiting on some NFL player to see you. Because I be seeing in the clubs, and when I was young, when I was in Atlanta, they be trying to get these dudes to choose them. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not your league. Simple. It's not your league. Now there are women and that is regular. They are getting certain men, right? They're getting those type of men. Now it's about, can you keep them? Right? Now let's be clear, y'all. Some men don't want to be kept. They don't want to be kept. That's okay. That doesn't mean that's fine. I'm cool with them not want to be kept. Even if a man don't want to be kept, if he feels like you're a keeper, he gonna stay around. Yeah, just like that. He gonna be like that. Because he knows at some point he gonna want to land the plane. And you look like a viable option that at some point you one of the top 3 that I can land the plane with. So again, you guys, it's very much about who is approaching you. And I'm making jokes. I'm saying different things like this. But at the end of the day, we have to be realistic. And it's not about insulting anybody. It's not about, oh, I'm praying and hoping that God will send me an NFL player, NBA player, or an entertainer. That is not God. That is superficial. That has nothing to do with God. You're asking God for superficial things. God does not look at the status of a man. He looks at the quality of a heart. They said, why did you choose David? Because David was the lowliest of all of his brothers. And it was because of the character of his heart. He was a warrior, and he was also a lover. He was emotional. He could write poetry, but he could beat you up. He was a warrior. He was fighting lions and bears with his bare hands. Okay. So like there was a quality about him that they could not see. And so again, he was like, man looks at the outer appearance. God looks at the heart. So when you over here praying for superficial things and you want God to bring superficial, God's not going to honor that. That's you. That's not God. So when you're on the converse side, when a man's saying, hey, I want this 9, 10, 11 type of female. I want this super, super bad female. It's like, okay, God does not look at the outer appearance. He looks at the heart. Now, do I think that God is not going to send you somebody that you're attracted to? Absolutely not. I think a lot that is BS. That's some BS. I think that is BS when people try to sell this little, oh, he's a nice guy. You're not attracted to him, or she's a nice girl. I'm not attracted to her. No, you need to be attracted. God gave you attraction. God gave you that. That's a gift from God. Your sexual attraction to somebody is a gift from God. That's not right. It can become demonic, as we all can see. Everything without balance can become demonic. But sex in and of itself, or sex, excuse me, in and of itself is not a bad thing. However, out of the right context it can be a horrible thing. And so again, I say he's not going to send you somebody you're not attracted to. So you don't have to worry about that. But what I will say is that a lot of people, even if they are attracted to him, because they're so married to a certain image, they're not even open to it looking any other way. They're not even open. God, y'all, God told me this weekend, I'm going to be honest with you. There's an epiphany he gave me. And I had said to myself that there was just things I was not going to do ever again. I was like, not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And God told me that essentially he's like, you need to stop putting these word curses on you because you're saying certain things. And just because in the past it was painful, that doesn't mean that what I have for you, it may be that, but it may not be that same situation. So I might be saying, oh, I never want to date somebody like this, or I never want to date somebody like that, when the reality is that might be your person. But because you've been hurt by something like that, wouldn't it be just like the enemy to hurt you with the exact person that is meant for you? Just so that you would not be able to connect with your purpose partner, so that you would not be able to get into a covenant and honor him with what you have. It would be just like the enemy to send. Remember the song by Usher? You remind me of Nathan. You ain't ever lied. Sorry, y'all. He said, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. See her face whenever I look at you. You believe all of the things she put me through. That's the reason why I just can't get with you. He's missing out on a blessing because he's so hurt by his past that he can't even get a new woman a chance because his past girl who done cheated on him scarred him so bad that this new girl he can't even give you a chance. I'm telling you. You remind me of how many people do that, y'all? We meet somebody and it's just like, it would be just like the enemy. Just like the enemy. To send somebody to absolutely break your heart so that the person that was meant for you, you would miss. You would ignore. You would avoid. So that you would not connect with the person that you are meant to connect with. I heard a quote before that said that God or the enemy discourages you most in the area that God is going to use you the most in. And so a lot of times the area we feel the most opposition in, or we're facing the most, like the hardest climb, is the area that God is going to use us the most in. And I feel that way in relationships. We were created for relationships. We can talk about we don't want them. We can talk. Now I think it's dangerous. This relationship space has become like men versus women and all this other stuff. And it's like, it's not healthy, obviously, because we were created for connection. And most of the people telling you to stay away from women, and most of the people telling you to stay away from men are with women or are with men. Like, they just are utilizing your pain and your trauma and trying to profit off of your pain. They're utilizing that and profiting off of it. And it's been proven, but because people are so hurt and blinded by their pain and their own traumas, that they continue to buy in to what these people are saying. No, You were meant to be connected with somebody. You were created to be connected to somebody. But the enemy, which God, y'all, if you have not seen what's going on in the world today, there is an undeniable evil that exists in this world, period. It's an undeniable evil, and it's very, very real. And if you don't see that by now, if there's an undeniable evil, there's an undeniable good. Which means there's a spiritual realm that's beyond what we can see. And if there's a spiritual realm that's beyond what we can see, there's an evil force that is at work. And that is clear. That is clear. Just open your eyes. That is clear. That evil force doesn't want you to stay connected. That evil force wants you to get lost in the things of this world. That evil force wants you to get lost in lust of the flesh and the pride of life and all these other things that ultimately lead you to destruction. It ultimately leads you to your demise. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that play out for us in real time. The purpose of this live, for real, is because a lot of us, our standards are too high. And it's not because the enemy has distracted us. We have been distracted by so many different options and so many different things going on that we can't appreciate what is ours. In addition to that, in addition to us being distracted, we're also very much afraid because he's done a very good job of keeping us afraid. Including myself. If I'm being very honest with you guys. Fear. I realize that a part of my high standards, part of why I am the way that I am, is because of fear. They're too high to protect myself. Because a lot of times, if we're truly being honest with ourselves, we use these high walls to keep us safe. That's the truth. Now I'm going to go through this list of what I found on the internet about when we know when our standards are too high. But I thought it would be very, very honest with you guys as I talk about this topic, because I'm not talking from a place of holier than thou or I've got it all together, because I don't. I'm figuring it out just like you. When you've been hurt and when you've been betrayed, and everybody on here has obviously experienced pain. I'm not the only one. It's hard. It's hard to open yourself up again. It's hard to open yourself up to being vulnerable and letting somebody else in. It's safer, you know, and to be real with you guys, just being honest, I like being with myself. I've grown to enjoy my own company. I like being with me. And I love y'all. I love hanging out with y'all. You guys fill me up. Like, I enjoy spending time with you guys. I enjoy my one-on-ones. I enjoy like connecting with my social media family. I enjoy connecting with my full-time job. I have my daughter. We're getting a puppy. But it's like, it's not the same. Like, I would not be lying. I would be lying to you if I would be, even though I am fine, I'm not like hurt or sad or anything like that. It's like, I'd be lying if I wouldn't be saying there's a part of me that desires connection. Desires connection. Y'all, before we get into it, before I get into this list, go ahead and hit the like button. We need to get the likes up. Let's get these likes up, y'all. I know I done got lost in my thoughts and everything like that, but let's get these lights up. 59 people in here, or it's 109 people in here. And there's only 50 something likes, I think I saw. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up to 70. These likes help us, guys. You don't understand. We're trying to get into these algorithms. We're trying to grow, okay? I'm trying to get to 500K. All right? I'm trying to get to 500K by the end of next year. 2025. I want to get to 500K. 2025. 500,000. Baby. I want to be on a million on my I don't know, in 2025 I could do that. On my Instagram. I might be able to. Yeah, I might be able to do that. A million next year on my Instagram for sure. I could do that. But anyway, I say all that. Where are we at the likes? Where are we with the likes, y'all? Yeah, y'all heard it here first. Hear me and hear me clear. 500,000 2025 on here, YouTube. 500,000, 500K. Read them and weep, baby. 1 million on Instagram. 1 million on Instagram. 2025. I might be at 2 million. Shoot. But anyway, 500,000. And we gonna be up here, y'all. It's 110 right now. It's gonna be like 11,000 by the time we get done. But anyway, y'all, let's do. Where are we with the likes, Pam? So that I can keep going. Yeah. But Nathan, and I don't want to get off my soapbox for real, but I'm gonna get real with you guys. 100 likes. Let's get 100 likes going, and then when we get to 100 likes, I'm gonna go through the list that I found to let you guys know your standards are too high. 100 likes, y'all. Let's get 100 likes going. Let's not, this really does help us. To me, when it comes down to it, you guys, when we see everything that's happening, there's always been an undeniable evil. I mean, it just and I think we put the certain world on a pedestal. And God said, we knocking this thing down. Y'all are worshiping people, and I'm God. And as long as you guys have got it confused, I'm about to show you who the real God is. I'm about to expose everybody that you think is a demigod or whatever this is. No, I'm God, and I'm letting you guys know what time it is. And I think God has sent certain people that are unapologetically out here for him. He has sent key voices in this new generation that doesn't look like everybody else to that hearts are for him. I really believe that. There are so many golden calves. So many people have lost their souls to this thing, man, have lost their souls to wanting to be famous, wanting to be in the know and around different people. Like, honestly, and it's a shame. It's not even like, it's a slippery slope, and you can't blame anybody because I get it. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. But we have to, we have to guard our hearts above all things, for out of it flows the rivers of life, So anyway, Tommy and Michael, y'all, let me do a dance for y'all. Yeah, no, Nate, here's the thing, you guys. I understand. Like, I have had conversations with myself for real and have said, well, let me get back to what I was doing. Oh, thank you, Tommy. Dance for Tommy, dance for Tommy, dance, 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 dance for Tommy. And Michael, 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 Michael. Thank y'all. Hope you enjoyed your dance. Thank you guys so much. John says, I love when you keep it real. For me, it's not high standards, but fear of trying again and comfort, even though the comfort is not making me happy. John, that's some real stuff right there. It's hard. Like, I don't think people are talking enough about that. It's like sometimes we set our walls so high because we know no one can reach them. We know no one can reach them. So it helps protect us from opening ourselves up. But we were created to be connected. So I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what they want to. You can sing me a song and a dance. I know you desire a connection. We all do. I desire a connection. Look, I'm somebody's wife. I'm somebody's woman. I just don't know who yet. I just don't know who. I know he's going to excite me. I'm gonna excite him. That's for sure. One thing for certain, two things for sure. I'm gonna excite him. He's gonna excite me. But I think that ultimately God works within our attraction, so we don't have to be afraid of what God brings us. But I think a lot of times we are looking for something that's going to be wrapped in a certain package, and I think guys are looking for extreme attractive women, and it's like, okay, but that's number one. When you're looking at, like, when you think it's like the top of the top and you're like, oh, she's like a top quality type of woman, and you start off the conversation by saying to her, because I've heard these conversations before with other people, and be like, oh, everybody probably talks to you, probably got everybody in your DM. If you already feel like she's probably got all these different guys in her DMs and it's this, and this, you have to say to yourself, do I measure up? Am I going to bring something to this woman that is not already being presented to her? Otherwise, women, if you are not measuring up, it's the same thing. If you're talking about, I'm holding out for this, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some guy. Y'all give me a guy. I don't know who the guy is. Who's a guy that, like, women like? I'm holding out for Chris Brown. I'm holding out for Michael B. Jordan. Are you going to be in any position to where Michael B. Jordan or Chris Brown sees you? And if he sees you, at what point do you feel like you're going to offer him something that no other woman's going to give him? And he's going to give you the opportunity to see it. That's what we have to understand, family. It comes down to it. Like, a lot of times we have to we do have to understand excuse me, I apologize. We do have to understand where we are with things. I saw a thing. It's funny because I saw a show where a woman was like, she had reached out to Michael B. Jordan and he had come on the show, and she was like, he's like, did I respond? She's like, no. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, it's okay. Like, I just thought, and I respect a woman who shoots her shot and stuff like that. But it's like, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we all have to understand, like, and I hate saying like, so I don't know why I'm saying it so much right now. We all have a lane. We all do. And it's not offensive. It's not to be disrespectful. It's not to down anybody. It's not to make y'all feel negative. It's not none of that. It is really truly just about like it is where we are. And until we do that, we're going to continue to be separate. I've literally had a conversation with Pam because I'm like, Pam, am I, like, let me know if I'm tripping. Like, keep me accountable because there's things that I desire. And I don't want to be unrealistic in my desires. Now, I'm not willing to settle, which is a different conversation. We're going to have that conversation. But I don't want to be unrealistic. We're going to talk about that. Settling and unrealistic are two different things. Settling and too high standards are two different things. Because when I'm saying settling, I'm saying you're compromising things about yourself. And part of that, family, is attraction. If you are not attracted to someone, women, if you're not attracted to a man, I'm sorry. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if there's women that just can't handle, like they can handle not being attracted to somebody. I got to be attracted to you. I don't care what you got going on. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but I had some people with some serious situations going on that, and I get why, because they got a lot of zeros. But if I'm not attracted to you, I'm not attracted to you. Period. It's just not. It's just not. And I can get attracted to you by personality. We can work on that. But if I'm not attracted to you, I'm not attracted to you. I cannot. That's just what it is. You have to have a woman that's attracted to you. And I think that that's why a lot of times, guys, you want a woman to get attracted to you. You have to have she has to get attracted to you. It's a non-negotiable. Because if not, she's not going to want to work through some of the things that you need a woman to work on. There, like, if there's a guy that I'm attracted, like, there's guys obviously I'm attracted to. There are some things I can deal with because I think they're attractive. Now, if they're not as attractive, there's a certain y'all, I'm going to switch it around because there's more guys in chat than girls. Let's say you talking to a girl that's not as attractive. Let's say you talking to a girl that's like a 5. Let's say you're talking to a girl that's an 8. 5 and 8. The 5 is like texting you every day. Good morning, handsome. Good morning, king. Hope you're living well. The 5 is like calling you every day. The 5 is wanting to she wanting to DoorDash you. She doing everything you could think of. Like she is, hey, big, like Daryl said, hey, big head, what's up? But then you got the 8, right? And the 8, let's say the 8 does the same thing. Let's say the 8 does the same thing. Let's say the 8 does the same. The 5 is going to be, you're going to be like, oh, she doing too much. Like, chill out. Like, relax. The 8's going to get grace because she finer. You're like, okay, she could be a little crazy. I can handle that. You know? Like, that's just what it is. Like, there have been men, even in my life, I'll go on a first date with somebody and be like, hey, look, I'm probably not all there. I don't know. You might not want to go down this road with me. You probably want to go the other way. You probably don't want to you might not even want to try this. This may not even be it. I am a challenge for sure. I know it. And, I feel like I'm a good challenge. Feel like I'm like, how, what's the guy? Hold on. Let me see something. Just like John Lewis said, good trouble. I'm like good trouble. Okay? Good trouble. I'll cook for you. I'm gonna make you that sandwich. I'll do all that. You have to deal with like some little stuff, but I'm good to you most of the time. I got my little thing. I got my little, I got my little something. And you know what guys will do? Most guys, I've never had a guy say, "Oh, that's too much. I can't handle crazy." Never. Mm-mm. I have never in my life. I'll say I'm crazy. You don't want. I know I like crazy. I'm actually okay with it. Let's keep going. I've never had a guy say, "No, you know what? I'm off crazy. I'm in a different world. I'm in a different space. I'm enlightened. I'm with the Lord now. I'm not dealing with anybody crazy anymore." No guy's ever said that. I get grace. But then they'll tell me about the last girl to be like, "Nah, she was too crazy. I couldn't deal with her. She was too much." I said, "But I'm crazy too." "Well, nah, you okay. I'm good. I'm okay with you being crazy. I'm okay. You can be crazy. I'm okay with that." I'm okay with you being crazy. That's fine. We can work out. We will be all right. They thinking fine crazy. No, they thinking fine. Like, listen, if you jealous, I might like you being jealous. That's really what it be, y'all. I'm sorry. This is another tangent. Are we at 100 likes yet? Y'all having fun, right? Put it one in the chat. Y'all having fun. We having fun tonight. We having fun. I have to wake up in the morning, so we having fun tonight. We having fun. No, oh yeah, okay. So we having fun in chat. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go to and I'm gonna go down this list, y'all. We're gonna go down the list, and we're gonna debunk rumors or not. We got 104 likes. Okay, Hillary. We're gonna keep it going. But before we do, no, but so the guy said, yeah, so I was like, this is what I be saying every single time, y'all. Every single time I say I'm crazy. Every single time they're like, it's a challenge they want to take. They're like, I'm cool with challenges. Look, look, I was built for a challenge, baby. I'm good with her. I'm like, but you just told me about your ex. You just told me about your last girl. Men like, I'm telling y'all this, men, y'all tell me, I'm not a man, so I don't know, but this is my experience. I believe men enjoy a little bit of crazy. I do. It's my expertise. It's my opinion. I don't know. I know nothing. Most of the men I've ever been with, and I've been in I've been in a lot of mostly relationships in my life. Yeah, I've only been in relationships. That's why I needed a break, y'all. That's why the Lord put me on a break. I need to be single for a while. Because I'll get into a relationship. I need to be single as a Pringle. Single as a Pringle. So being, and so anyway, long story short, like I said, they do like, come on, Pam, they like that adrenaline rush. They like that little switch up. She bad though. That's what it come down to. That's what it is. I'm not the type that's going to like destroy property or anything like that. That's not my type of crazy. I'm not that type of crazy. I am possessive. I will tell you that. I don't care. I am possessive. I am. It's my nature. But but here's the thing, y'all. I normally attract possessive men. Every single time. I attract possessive men. Men that like no mine. They're that type of men. I'm being honest. The type of men I'm telling you, the type of men they be like, I like mine. They're like, oh no, that's mine. No. I like that. Anyway, we're off we're completely off topic. Let's get back. Me talking about like possessive men, probably bad thing. Let's keep it going. And we're moving. So guys, here's the list that we found on multiple different things. I'm going to go through and we're going to start like debunking, okay? And seeing if these things are real or not. Here we go. So there's 10 things one list came up with that said that someone was too picky. Number 1 was judging someone's texting style. I actually think that is pretty picky. I agree with that. Judging someone's texting style, like if they use shorter words, if they use R and U, I can see like certain things, but like I'm not going to completely cut somebody off because they use R and U. Like that's just like dumb. Like I think that that's not like you haven't. Some people are not great texters. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't think that that's no. That sounds like a female thing though. I don't think men do that. I don't think men like cut women off because of how they text. I don't think so. Numero dos. Immediate dismissal based on small habits. Rejecting someone outright without giving them a chance to explain or show their true self. I don't think that I don't think that like depends on what the small habits are. Like for me, if the small habit is like a deal breaker, I think it's a no. But I don't, it depends on what the small habit is. I'm going to look at some of these and see which ones are. So a lot of these in this situation was it seems like it's really about making early judgment calls, reading into text messages, reading into like very minimal information and not really giving somebody the space to like, Sam, stop saying like. I hate that. But not giving someone the space to be able to say or explain themselves, that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of that, you know, where it's very, very like, when we're having conversations with people, I think we need to absolutely be talking about a vibe. When we're like Xing people out because they say R or U or you don't have a whole lot of context and you don't give them the space to like explain themselves or tell you what was going on or this, that, and the third. Like, y'all, I just literally had a situation with a woman that, you know, I really felt like when I met her, I was like, we're going to be friends. And I had some things going on. And when I'm going through some things, I isolate. That's my thing, right? So I tend to isolate. And she was trying to reach out to me and she doesn't know what's going on with me. And so like, I wasn't as communicative. Well, today I really felt like God put on my spirit to reach out to people and just try to make peace and like, kind of like close doors, like not close doors, but kind of like give clarity in certain areas, right? And so what ends up happening is that she reaches back out and she like appreciates the conversation. She appreciates the clarity and we were able to have a dialogue. But because she didn't really know what was going on, she probably just felt like, oh, you just don't want to kick it with me. You don't really like me, this, that, and a third. Your mind can go a lot of different places. But when you have minimal information and you're not asking for more context, you can take she didn't know what was going on in my life. She didn't know what was happening with me. All she knew was that I wasn't responding in a certain way. And so I think a lot of times we take like, especially in dating, we can take what somebody says and how they're texting very, very literally. And I think that is to our detriment because we're so afraid of rejection. We're so afraid of looking thirsty. We're so afraid of being vulnerable that we don't really put ourselves out there like that. And so I think that it enables us from really connecting with people. So the list here that Matthew Hussey came up with was judging somebody's texting style, immediate dismissal off of small habits, not giving somebody a chance to explain themselves or show their true self, overvaluing first impression in text, reading too much into a single text versus considering the person's overall communication style, refusing to give a person a chance to explain themselves, expecting perfect communication at all times, which is crazy. How? We're not perfect. That's literally dumb. Disregarding the context, not considering that people might text quickly or casually, but communicate better in person. Y'all, there's people I literally know, have had communication with. They are so much better on the phone. They are so much better in person. But texting, that's just not their great, that's not their strong suit. They're just not good at that. So when you dismiss somebody or you don't want to talk to them anymore because they text a certain way, that's weak. That just might not be their thing. And in the future, you're going to want a man who can communicate verbally, not written. You're going to want a man who's going to want to talk to you in person, in real life. That's what we need to evaluate our things on, not on this social media data thing. It's like in person, face to face, verbal. Like, what do we sound like? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is the vibe like? That's what we need to be evaluating our connections on. We're putting too much weight into this texting. Making early judgments without personal interaction. Yeah, for me. In fact, y'all, I had a conversation with somebody one time. In our texting, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this person. Like, I was like, I don't know. And when I got on the phone with them, I was on that phone for 4 hours on FaceTime. I could not believe it. I was like, I'm floored. I did not expect this. I did not expect to like you. But again, it's like I would have never known just based upon the texting. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know. But then when we got on the phone, I was like, oh, I like talking to you. And you like talking to me. We vibe. Okay. So that's why we have to allow it to be a vibe. I know I like that FaceTime probably goes down in the record books. Probably one of the longest FaceTimes I've ever done. I don't think I've ever been on FaceTime that long. 4 hours? That's wild. I was like, wow. Okay. Next, avoiding compromise, refusing to adjust expectations, or be flexible when there might be a more efficient way to assess compatibility. Y'all, when I watch these shows and people don't want to compromise, I'm like, how can you possibly want a relationship? How can you possibly want to be somebody's husband? How can you possibly want to be somebody's wife? How? You have to compromise. You have to. That is part of the situation. You have to. You have to be able to compromise. And if you're not, you're going to get left. That's part of the situation. It's part of what happens in relationships. Because one person cannot be fighting and trying to make something work while the other person is committed to being who they are. You have to compromise. Have to. Number 10, allowing room for imperfection. Absolutely. Expecting every detail to allow. No one is perfect, family. No one is perfect. No one. So to expect perfection is wild. If you are imperfect, how dare you expect perfection from somebody else? Yeah. Okay, so this is somebody else's. Now, Stephon Speaks came up with a list, and I think that this is really good as well. 10 things. Focusing too much on income. Highlighting an unrealistic focus on financial success without matching it with self-improvement. I think a lot of times, y'all, and I think this is what I personally feel. I think a lot of people don't understand, and I think Dr. Cheyenne Bryan brought this up in one of her interviews, but she talked about how somebody can have a lot of money, but they're not functioning. Like they're not somebody that with certain things, they're not trying to be better. They're not working on themselves. They're not going to therapy. They're not emotionally intelligent. They're not trying to be emotionally intelligent. They're not trying to improve, like become a better individual. They're not trying to improve their environment and the world around them. Their character, right? You can make a lot of money and not have a lot of character. You can have all the money in the world and have no character. So I think that when we focus too much on, oh, how much money do you have? And you're not thinking about who this person is, character is what's going to keep you in that relationship. You could be with somebody who has all the money in the world and they treat you horribly. They're disrespectful. They're lying. They're cheating. They're abusive. And you over here because they got money, you want to stay. No, like that is not a relationship you want to stay in. I'm telling you. A lot of times we hyper focus on these things, and you be much better with a guy who's, maybe not a millionaire, whatever, billionaire type of guy. He might be making an honest living, but he treats you well. He respects you. He loves you. He honors you. He's willing to compromise for you. He keeps himself accountable before God. He's a man of God. He got that David spirit. Ooh, that's so attractive. Y'all, we be focused on the wrong things because a relationship with a guy like that is not going to last. If he's all about like himself and as you can see, none of those relationships don't last. They don't last. If you are not in the space to say, you know what, I'm willing to compromise. It's not just about me being, I got money. That is not what keeps a relationship together. What keeps a relationship together, unless you want to be with somebody who's about money, then if you're with somebody who's about money and you're just wanting to give them money, then that works because they're like, oh, I have money. You want to take money. So we're good. But if you want somebody that's there for something more than that, then you have to give more than that. But what happens is a lot of guys that have money, they want women that's there for more than money. But when they expect more than money, they get mad because they're like, dang, I don't want that. I don't want to do anything more than just give you what I have. It's like, no, you wanted a woman who wanted more. I want love. I want respect. I want fidelity. I want to be treated well. I don't want your money. I want love. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what happens. Okay. And so at the end of the day, we have to understand that certain people have to, we have to understand that these types of relationships, as much as we hype them up, we can see it on the media right now. It is not, what glitters is not gold, baby. What glitters is not gold. Number 2, expecting unconditional acceptance of flaws. Well, that's a good one. Idea of take me as I am, flaws and all, is criticized, implying that, whoo, family, when you are in a relationship with somebody and they're like, just, I am who I am, this is who I am, forget this, forget that. I see this all the time, and it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women that do this, and I'm sorry. I see men do it, but I feel like men are more, I've seen more men be open to being a team player. I don't know if men, because they play team sports, they open to being team players, but women are like, no, I accept me as I am. You know what? And like whatever that is. And then I meet other women that are very open to changing and very open to compromising. You have to, regardless of who you are, depending on if you're the prettiest woman or the most successful man, there always has to be a sense of humility. You are never like, there's always a way you can improve. There's always a way you can be better. There's always a way you can improve as a human being. Never get so drunk off your own supply that you forget that you are not, this is not about you. This walk, this life is not about you. We are serving a greater purpose. And when we get lost in doing what we want to do and we forget that we're here to do what God wants us to do, that's when we get messed up. That's when we get on our road to destruction. That's when we be doing the wrong things, connecting with the wrong people, leading down the wrong roads. So we need to have a sense of humility for real, no matter what we got going on. Because we all got areas in our lives that we need to work on, and we need to be open to working on it. If I don't get into my next relationship and the guy I'm with says, hey, you know what? You may need to stop this whole fitness modeling thing. The fitness modeling thing, I don't really want other men to be seeing your body like that. That really makes me uncomfortable. I'd have to be okay with that because that's my man. Right? And I can understand that. I can understand why he would feel that way. Right? That is something that we have to be open to and compromising for. Open to. And I just have to figure out another way to handle what I got to handle. Right? That's just my perspective. You know, I am not going to make anybody feel uncomfortable in my situation by what I do, because I understand it. Number 3, judging based on professional accomplishments. So this is going off of women saying that because women saying their resume is why they deserve a good partner. And understanding that men are not judging women off of the same criterion that men are, that reverse. Women judge men off of the house, the car, what job, how much money you making. Men are judging you off of a completely different set of criteria. And again, of course, there's men. I've met a man that he was like, you know, I want a high earning woman. I've met men that say that. So they may be looking for a woman. Nowadays, I'm meeting more men that want more ambitious men, that are men that want more ambitious women that are more, you know, earners and things like that. I'm meeting more of that. But there are men that don't desire that. That's not their top priority. That's more of a newer concept. You know, but that's not really what men are really looking for. Right? Yeah. So we just have to understand that men and women are not looking for it. We're not looking for the same things. It's starting to look a little bit similar, which is crazy, but I don't want no man that's looking for what women are looking for in men. Like I would be turned off if a man is looking for in me what I'd be looking for in him. Do I want a man that wants a woman who's ambitious? Yes, because I'm ambitious. Do I want a man that wants a woman who has something going for herself? Absolutely, because I got, I want something for myself, right? That's what I desire. That's what I understand about myself now. However, there's certain things that I wouldn't want a man to be looking for. That it would be kind of like I don't know. Expecting perfect relationships like those portrayed online. Y'all, we know that these are presentationships. These are not, we comparing our relationships to things that are online. You're like, y'all, we not going to post whatever kind of picture. We going to post the best picture. We not going to, this is what we do. We're not going to, I'm not going to post the worst video of myself. I'm going to post the one I like the best. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, but if a man's like, I need to find me a woman who could build me a house. I need to find me a woman who could use a hammer. I need me a woman. I need me a woman that can fix me a car. She can handle all my mechanics on my car. I need me a woman that mowed the lawn. I'd be like, I need me a handy woman. A handy woman who can fix things. I'd be like, okay. He want a Martha Stewart type. He want a woman that be he need to go look for the woman in Home Depot. That's where he need looking for women in Home Depot, not me. Because Sam don't know none of that. Anyway. But yeah, comparing relationships offline, like, what are we doing, y'all? We know at this point in time, ain't no relationship like the ones we see online. Yeah, I'm not that country from Memphis. I'm from New Jersey originally. Okay? I'm not that country. I'm not. Ignoring deeper issues in oneself. Expecting partner. Wow, that's deep. So expecting a partner to accept unresolved personal issues while seeking someone who has worked on themselves. Family, that is crazy. That is a good one. Absolutely. People that are not healed are the most picky. People that are not healed are the most picky. For real. They be the main ones that are like, nope. They don't want to entertain anybody because they're hurt. They're hurting. But at the end of the day, no person can heal you. Only God can heal you. And I hate when people try to use relationships to try to heal themselves. Why? Like, what are we talking about? We keep looking for people to make us feel better. People can't make you, maybe for a moment. If I'm feeling sad, a man might be able to make me feel better for what? 24 hours? 48? Well, he can't fix my problem. Only God and therapy can fix my problem. And a lot of people, yes, Hillary, relationships are mirrors. But once we see what we see in the mirror, it is up to us to go fix it on our own. It's not for the relationship to fix it. The relationship may reveal it, but then it's up to us to go find the place to fix it. It's almost like, in my opinion, when I see something in my kitchen that I need, all right, my daughter might have found it, let's say. My daughter might have seen that mommy doesn't have enough of her favorite snack. It's up to me to go purchase the item from the grocery store. I'm not going to depend on my daughter to go fix that problem. She doesn't have the tools. She don't even know how to drive the car. She don't have any idea how to get from here to the store to go get the item that she's desiring. I do. I have the tools. I drive the car. It's my car. It's my home. So at the end of the day, when we have a problem, it is my thing that I have to fix. It is not somebody else's responsibility to fix me. That's why I said to you before we even had this conversation. Before we had this whole conversation. I said, I have never been in a space, y'all, I'm telling you. When I was in college, y'all, I was in 2 relationships. Wait, no. 3 relationships. I was in 3 relationships. Well, my master's into my grad school, I was in 2. Then I got married. No. Yeah, because one of them was really short. That didn't last very long. I was in 6 relationships in my life. 6. Well, no. I'm not counting my high school relationships, by the way. I'm not counting my high school. I'm only counting my adult, over 18. Right? But I was in a relation most of my college career. Then I got with another guy. He was such a sweet guy, great guy. Nothing bad to say about him. Another guy. I was with him for 3 or 4 years. Really, I think we got together for 5 or 6 years, if you really want to say. Then I was with another guy for, they were long relationships. I was just in long relationships. You say I did well. I don't know. But in my adult life, 6 relationships. But it's wait, that's after. Hold on, let me make sure I'm right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. 6. Yep. 6. But the thing about it, about my whole the entire, what I'm saying in this entire situation for me is that I was just in relationships. I did not heal. I looked for someone to heal me. I look for someone to heal me, to heal me, to heal me. Y'all, I'm 34. I'm turning 35 in October, y'all. So 6, I'm not too bad in my adult time, okay? I know I look like I'm 28, but I'm 34 turning 35. That might be why I look 34 turning 35, because I've only been in 6 relationships. Well, 6 is actually not a bad number. I think that's a lot of relationships, but it's not a lot of relationships. It's like there's some people that have been in 3. I think it might be just, I think Nate said us Scorpios. I think we're just intense people. We just love. We're just like, you're mine. Until you're not. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I was looking for someone in each situation to heal me. And it wasn't until I got to a place where I was like, no, I need to be by myself. I need to be by myself. I need to have time on my own intentionally to really figure me out. Honestly. I need to figure it out. Tribal, you know I'm be 27 for a lifetime. Y'all know YouTube ain't got no filter, so you already know. Maybe over here. Well, I guess people at this point, y'all already know what I look like. It is what it is. Y'all know what I look like. Y'all see me all the time. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I did not take the time to heal. I went from relationship to relationship to relationship, and I did not take the time to heal. And when I finally did, I finally gotten to a place where I'm so okay with myself. I'm so okay with being by myself. I don't need somebody in my life to just fill up the space. For what? I don't need to do that. If someone's in my space, it's because I want them there, not because I just need them there. I need a body in my space. No, no, I don't need that. I don't need it. So I don't need to have that. And that's why I think that it's very important for people to heal. It's important because now I'm not deciding off of, I need you here because I'm hurting and I just need a fix. It's like, no, I need you here because I actually have decided, I've made the mental decision, I've done the work, I've kind of gotten out what I needed to get out, and now I want you here. Like I've made that. I want somebody to want me there, not need me there because they need to be validated or they need some type of trauma to be soothed because they haven't done their own work. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, it's very important for somebody to heal. That's my whole point. Using career success as the main measure of worth. We talked about this with money. Women may mistakenly believe that their job or education should be the deciding factor in attracting a partner. No, we talked about that before. Men do not look at what women look at. That might be for women. It's not the same for men. Number 9, overlooking personal energy. Oh. I think it's very important, you guys, that when we're talking about sometimes when we're putting out certain energy, he's talking about like sometimes we're being so picky, we're so quick to try to find something wrong with someone. We don't even realize what type of energy that we're putting off to people. And so because we're not being self-aware, we're so quick to try to find something wrong with someone that we might be creating the atmosphere that's creating the reaction in the person that we're now judging. We may be the problem, essentially. And I think that that's facts. I think that's facts. That sometimes we're so picky or we're so critical of other people because of whatever we've got going on internally that we're not dealing with, that we put off an energy. People don't want to be around us. Ooh, I'm gonna end here, y'all. These are, oh goodness. I'm in on this one. Expecting a partner to not care about your personal growth. The idea of not working on oneself and still expecting to attract a high quality partner. So, ooh, I could drop the mic right there. A lot of times, y'all, this is my problem. A lot of times people will say, I want a man with a 6-pack. I want a man with a 6-figure salary. I want this. I want that. I want the 666. I want all these different things. And it's like, it's unrealistic. And what are you? Who are you? Are you trying to get to where you're trying? Where are you in this scheme of things to where a man would be attracted to that, or that type of man would be attracted to you? We're over here and we're thinking about all these different superficial qualities and all this stuff. But even on a superficial level, do you meet your own criteria? Are you the creme de la creme of women to where you want the creme de la creme of men? You saying you want this fine, super fit guy who got this, that, and third. Okay, if that's the case, are you super fit? Do you got your situation together? Are you in a place financially? I saw a woman that was mad at a guy because he didn't have money to take her to a 5-star restaurant, but she was, I guess she didn't have a car and she didn't have enough money to Uber home. So she asked him to help her Uber back to where she was at. I think it was like $30. You don't have $30 to Uber home, but you mad at him for taking you to IHOP? That's my whole thing. We're over here mad at people because for things that we are not. And I understand we're a hypergamous beings, but we've got to come with something. You've got to come with something. I might not be what somebody else is that's approaching me, but they obviously see something in me that is like, okay, she's got a lot going on for herself. She's not like everybody else. And I'm not. I'm Sam. Just like you're Antoine and you're Hillary and you're Lanaya and you're Tyrone. Your magic is you being you. That is your magic. Can't nobody do you better than you. And so for me, it's like you can't say you want certain things, but you're not those things. You can't be mad at somebody for if you're saying, oh, and I see a lot of women that be hypercritical on men's appearances and men being overweight, but they're overweight women. You can't be mad at a man being overweight if you're overweight too. You can't, that's the one area, that's where you struggle at too. That might be an area where y'all can level up together. We cannot get to a place, y'all, where we I have 7 kids, but I don't want a man to have no kids. Or a man has 5 kids and I don't want a woman who has kids. No, a part of you has to understand. Now, is that possible? Absolutely. I can meet a man. I've met men, they don't have no kids and they're perfectly okay with being in my life and everything like that. I prefer a man with children. I just do. However, I feel like I've tried very hard to be open because I know that God can bring anything into my life. But to me, it's like you can't be out here saying you're X, Y, and the Z or expecting X, Y, and the Z, and you're not that. That's where you have to open yourself up to people's perspectives and opinions. And you have to say to yourself and be honest with yourself, am I creme de la creme? Am I worth the price that I'm asking for? Am I just saying this because I want to be single for real? Am I just saying this because I want to make it seem like it's cool to everybody because I desire this type of man? I can't get him. So I'm now going to make my virtue being single. So I'm going to create a smoke screen and say, well, he just didn't meet my standards. No, it's not about standards are you're going to treat me with respect. Standards are you're going to have a job. Standards are you're a man of integrity. You're a man of your word. You're going to be on some level of consistency. You're a man of God. I don't know, it could be something. You have a good relationship with your mother. You're a family man. You're okay with being with family. You desire the same things as like family goals, like you want to be married or you want to have children or whatever that is. Those are non-negotiables. Those are standards because that is what will matter at the end of the day. How tall he is won't matter. If he has a 6-pack or not won't matter. Is he a man of integrity? Can he pay his bills? Everything else is a preference. But what will matter is, are you a man of God? Do you hold yourself accountable to the Most High? What are you doing? You see this world is dark. You see what's happening today. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to look at. We are looking at the wrong things. And when we start putting all these, these superficial standards and making it seem like they're non-negotiables. No, you sitting here praying for a football player. What is that? You over here praying for a female that's a 9 or a 10. Well, I already said I don't believe nobody's a 10. But you praying for a woman who's a 9 to a 9.9, an Instagram model that got hundreds of thousands of followers, and you want her to hit you up, but you work at Walmart. Let's be real, family. Let's keep it 100. I'm not even saying that that's unreal. Like we have to be realistic. She can get any man in the world. Honestly, let's keep it real. Social media has made this world much smaller. So the very woman you desire, Tribal's in the building. Tribal, no. Most of the women Tribal want, I don't know if Tribal's into entertainment. I don't know if Tribal's into rap. I don't know if he's into R&B. I don't know if he's in the NFL, NHL, NBA. I don't know what you into, Tribal. But Tribal know every woman on the internet that every one of these guys, top-notch dudes, want. Straight up. And he probably could tell me right now who the top 5 on in the game right now. Who's wifey material numero uno. And you know why he knows that? Because they all know that. Because they scout because the internet has made our world very small. And so we cannot delude ourselves. It's not about, oh, I'm settling with this 7. No, you're not settling with the 7. That was your lane to begin with. You just didn't know it. Social media made you aware of your lane. We just didn't know it. We didn't realize. It's almost like I didn't even know what the $1 million house looked like until there was a Zillow. I didn't know what it looked like. Now I look at the $1 million house. I'm like, oh, dang. That made me feel different about my house. Now I feel like I'm settling when it's actually what I can afford. Now I'm settling with a Honda, which is what I can afford. Now I'm settling with the I'm trying to think of whatever. I'm settling with the Nissan. I'm settling with these. No, it's what I can afford. It's actually within my price range. I'm not settling. It is what it is. This is where I'm at. But because now I see it, I feel like I'm settling. No, you're not settling. This is where it is. This is what it is. All right, and that's my whole point, family. That is my whole point. It's not reality versus delusion. It's more, part of it can be that, but part of it is understanding that just because I see it and just because I can kind of touch it where I can like their photos and they can comment back and forth and we can have this quasi relationship, that doesn't mean it's actually my lane. And that's not even to hurt nobody's feelings. That's for me. That's really to help. That's really to help. It's not even IG models, honestly. They're not a mirage. They're not a mirage to certain people. To certain people, IG models are a reality. To certain people, IG models are a daily. They're somebody. They may be somebody's mirage, but they're somebody else's daily appetite. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. With the one woman, you might be is on somebody's neck, and he's like, man, I need to block this girl. But that's just what it is. No, I'm just saying tribal out here, tribal follow all the baddies. Every single one of them. Tribal know what time it is. He also know quality though. Tribal know quality women though. I give tribal that. Tribal know. Tribal, I'm giving you this. Tribal know quality. Tribal, listen, you need to be putting these guys, these top-notch dudes, you need to be putting them on game because you can see quality, Tribal. I know you do. I done seen how you move, man. I done seen how you move. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna message you later, Tribal. I apologize. I'll message you after this live. But again, it just seems like it's not about just, oh, I'm breaking your heart. I'm making people feel bad about whatever. It's more about, like, I just want us to bridge the gap because a lot of the reason why we're doing what we're doing, a lot of the reason why we're in these positions is because there's a part of us that's not being realistic. Like I said earlier with women, it's like if these type of men are not approaching you on a regular basis, this is not your dating pool. You got to go with your dating pool. Who's coming at you? Who's coming at you? If these type of guys are normally coming at you, okay, that's probably your dating pool. They're not. We have to be better about just being realistic with ourselves. Why? Because that's what's going to get us connected. That's what's going to get us connected. What is going to get us connected with our purpose partner is us not getting married to a mirage and us really being like, you know what, God, whatever it is, just make me so attracted to it that I can't keep my hands off it. That's my prayer. I'd be like, God, make me so attracted to the person you have for me that I don't know what to do with him. Like, make me so into him that I can't even see straight. Period. That's really what I say. That's my prayer. Because I'm like, I don't want what I want. What I've wanted in the past, I don't want. And then I don't want to say, oh, I'm not going to take this guy. I'm not going to date this guy because I've been hurt in the past by certain guys. It's like, no, God, whatever it is, made me so attracted to him that I don't know what to do with myself. And then I want him to feel the same way about me. That's my prayer. You know what I'm saying? So that, again, guys, I'm getting sleepy. So my little euphemisms are coming out. So I know it's time for me to end the live. I know we've been on here. We've been rocking for 2 hours and 4 minutes. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this live. I hope you understand the point of this. This is not meant to tear nobody down at all. This was meant to just say, like, y'all, we are all quality people and we all deserve to be loved in quality ways. And sometimes the people that we're looking to do it with, or the only people that we're trying to get it from, cannot give it to us. And the people that we're overlooking that we might be attracted to, because I'm not telling you to overlook your attraction. We're just like, no, it's got to be that one. You're not my type. Got to be her. Got to be him. Got to be that. Got to be in that box. I'm not accepting it unless it's in that box. And that's not how God works. Look at King David. He was not what anyone expected. He was not the box that anyone expected it to be in. But he was the perfect king for that time. All right. Anyway, family, I got a podcast that's coming out on Friday morning. So go ahead and look that up. It's called I'm Tired of Being Disappointed. I might change the name, but the concept's still the same. I'm tired of being disappointed. So you might want to check that out. More than just pretty podcast. Otherwise than that, I will see you guys next week, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all. Have a great night.